Yo, do us a favor and yourself a favor by hitting that subscribe button. Make sure to tap that notification bell as well so you can stay updated. Now let's get to the video. It's iLLANOiZE Radio, Chicago's most valuable radio show. I'm your host, Biko, alongside our special guest, Ija, and Illinois Jones. As always, we bring you all the illest guests from around the city and globe. And today, Kayla Sullers is in the building. Welcome.
Y'all make me feel so good. I love it here. Oh my God.
It's Women's History Month too.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy because just working in production, I'm so used to like doing the interviewing and talking to people, and this is the first time I'm like, oh, I kind of get my flowers. I like that.
You know,
we're going to give them to you today.
I like that.
And we ain't have no direct flowers, but we gave you a shot of the
You took your shot already.
I've been drinking.
Feeling good though. Feeling good, feeling great on this beautiful Saturday.
I know that's right. I mean, how you feeling in general? You know, the strike is over.
Yeah.
Back working.
Oh my gosh, we were just having a conversation about this. What was the question you just asked me?
I was asking how long have you been locking
my hair? Okay, so boom, I just started locking my hair like 3 months ago, just because I'm like, okay, I'm on this spiritual journey. I want to just start something new and just love myself in a different way. But the main reason is because the writer's strike made me like, ooh. Funds was funding. Could not afford a bust down middle part every single month.
What's a bust down middle part?
You know what I'm talking about.
No. She know what you're talking about.
What is a bust
down middle part?
Bust down
or something. No, you know, like the frontals, the middle parts, long hair, straight, you know, with the layers and all of that. I want to look good.
Yeah, they cost a slay.
I love me a good wig, okay? But spending $500 plus a month, that adds up. So I was like, okay, let me just get in tune with just loving my hair. Granted, I've been a natural hair girly for years. And I'm like, you know what? With the strike happening, can't really get my hair done. I'm like, okay, let me just try different styles. And I've been doing more natural hairstyles. I actually fell in love with just being natural. And as time went on, I'm like, I kind of look good with locks. I was going to wait till 30.
Girl, you better flood that natural look.
Let me just flip the hair. But, you know, because of the strike and all of that happening, I feel like it was just the time to do it. And then it was a liberating moment for me just to like on my self-care journey and just like loving me and growing every single day. Like, I'm 24 years old. I just turned 24 March 2nd. So I'm just...
Literally. Oh,
yes, I'm a baby.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday. Turn up.
Yeah.
Take a sip of that for your birthday.
Take a sip. Look, I took my sip already. We gonna taste yourself.
Like,
okay?
you gotta pace it. So far, what have you learned being on this lock journey? Because I had locks 3 times.
Oh.
Jones had locks.
I had locks
before. And I feel like throughout your lock journey, you learn more about yourself. Yeah. So far within, you know, your lock journey, what have you learned?
I will definitely say I don't need many hair products. I could just get up and go, spray my hair with the water, lemon juice, whatever, feel good about that. But definitely I learned the process of just like learning your hair. Like I was taught and told by different mentors and peers that not everybody locks are the same. So essentially like your locks probably were more thicker and more longer or whatever the case may be. And mine's like I have thin locks and I'm happy with my thin girls. And then in the back, they're super small. So I know like, okay, I can add certain charms to it to just watch the growth and the journey. And then the biggest thing is patience. I'm learning patience.
I knew you was for the same.
Yeah, just trusting the process and things. Yeah. So like taking it one step at a time. Like, okay, my hair is looking good this day or it's frizzing up this day. I know what to do here and there. But then also too, I feel like it's helping me tap in just like spiritually who I am as a person. Like just love yourself in the process. Granted, I still throw me a nice wig on here and there, but I love my hair in the process, you know?
So we all know that you're super multifaceted in the film industry, and you already said your age, very young, very intelligent. So a lot of you guys probably don't even know, but Kayla Sullers is a director, an editor, a photographer, a cinematographer. She does it all in the film industry. I just want to know more about when did you get your start? Because you know a lot of us really don't know what we want to be when we were younger. So I just want to know, when did you say I want to be a photographer or cinematographer and I want to be in this film industry?
You know what's crazy? It's gonna sound crazy, but I feel like I've been on this planet before. Since I was little, I always had like a burst of energy, a whole ball of energy. And I used to tell people like, yeah, I'm gonna be a superstar when I grow up. And it was funny because people would be like, no, for real, what do you want to be when you grow up? Because, you know, we're conditioned to tell Black kids you should behave a certain way or whatever. But I always had this burst of energy, and I knew like, okay, I'm destined for greatness. But I didn't know what. I didn't know how or where. But I always just loved media, and I used to love going to the movie theaters on 87 and Dan Ryan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They closed it down.
They
now.
closed it down, but that was like a historical landmark for me because you knew every black family in the hood, they'll go there on 87th Street on the weekend to go watch the movie. So
That's
like,
a nice matinee move.
man, the Chatham, they got rid of it. But I used to love going and watching new movies, and I used to love just watching the credits. But I always noticed that people would just up and leave the movie theaters when the credits would come up. And I would ask my parents, like, what are those names? What do they mean? What is the purpose? And like, nobody could ever give me answers. So I'm like, okay, moving forward, I always knew I loved media. I always knew I loved being in front of a camera, behind the camera, all that good stuff. And I say that to say, by the time I was 14 years old, I came across a program called True Star. Shout out to True Star Foundation. True Star literally saved my life. If it wasn't for True Star, I would not be here today, honest to God truth. Natea and Deanna Thompson, they saw something in me. They saw the light in me that many people have seen, but they never had the chance or the ability to give me that spotlight. So joining True Star, essentially, they instantly had me join the digital media program where I learned street teaming. So street teaming meaning going outside, talking to people, promotion, PR, definitely. Then they showed me like, okay, you could be a model for us. Did modeling, then they taught me journalism, just how to talk to people. Then by the time I was 16, I was doing radio broadcasting. So I had 3 different radio shows working with True Star on iHeartRadio and all of this. And like, I was just like a child protege because of True Star. But by this point, I'm already interviewing people like Tiana Taylor, interviewing with people with the Steve Harvey Show and all these different resources. But I still knew like, okay, I'm still figuring out my destiny. So I thought I was going to go to college and be a radio host. I wanted to be on GCI, Power 92. And long story short, I just know when I was 17, I took a class, and it was after school matters type of class, Gallery 37, Advanced Arts, where I learned video production. And that's where they taught us just the power of filmmaking. So every month we would get a different genre. So one month in particular, it was a documentary theme. And I did a documentary called Black Shy Youth. And that documentary changed my life. I filmed it when I was 16 years old, and it was based about the story about me being a part of Black Lives Matter. And I was just picking up a camera and showing what was going on during our time in Chicago. But my main focus was to highlight that Black kids in Chicago are doing dope things. We're not all just about the violence and the shooting and the killings that you see online. So I'm like, let me advocate for that. And next thing you know, man, my teacher saw something in me, and she was like, Kayla, you need to submit this to the Center Youth Film Festival. And that's ran by the Chicago International Film Festival. So next thing you know, they picked it up. I was the only person in my classroom and got the chance to be a part of that film screening. And once I got selected for that film screening, next you know, I won a scholarship to go to a film program, which Tribeca Flashpoint College at the time. Did that for a little bit, learned video production. Then I joined another program called Fresh Films Foundation, and just maintaining that. But I'm in high school, still doing my radio show, still doing journalism, broadcasting, and was still modeling. And one thing that really stood out to me the most is that I started to notice that when I'll do fashion shows and print modeling and all of that, I would pay attention more to the equipment and the cameras and the technical parts of just like production. And all I know is, eventually became an award-winning filmmaker, 2017.
Talk your shit.
Yeah.
Drop your nuts on
my
me.
work was aired on WTTW live. I was selected for the longest Black art running exhibition in the nation with the Museum of Science and Industry. And I was getting so much recognition in 2017. Around this time, this is the same year that I got to fly out to New York because of Dwayne Wade's program called Spotlight On. And I got to shadow Angela Yee and the whole Breakfast Club crew at 17 years old, and shadowing them and seeing like, okay, this is how radio get down. But I will never forget, they took me upstairs to the iHeart radio station area. And this is where Revolt TV has their station in their production area. And I sat there and I watched the executive producers, the producers, and all these different people just doing the technical works to make Charlamagne the God and all these dope people look good on camera. And I'm like, this is what I want to do. I want to do the behind the scenes. And then next you know, I let God do his thing. I ended up at Grambling State University studying radio broadcasting. Then by the end of my freshman year in college, I got the chance to do a Cinecares Foundation internship, and I ended up being the very first camera intern on season 6 of Empire. So then from there, after Empire, I'm still doing journalism, radio work, all of this. After Empire in 2019, the ball just kept rolling. I got the chance to work on Candyman. And then I think my full circle moment was that when I was 20 years old and I got to see my names in the credits of Candyman. Like, I will never forget that feeling of goosebumps and just like, man, anything you do is possible if you just stay grinding and stay dedicated. And you know, the rest is history. I'm still doing filmmaking. I'm now one of 5 Black female cinematographers in Chicago, Illinois, just working as a cinematographer professionally. I'm a part of the 1% in the country that even works on your favorite TV shows and movies. After Empire, I did Candyman, like I said. After Candyman, I got to work on Love is Blind. I got to work on Snowfall, season 1 and 2 of Power Book Force. I got to work with stuff with Hulu, Apple TV, Netflix, just all these different productions. And I'm like, yo, let me just keep at it. And then that's how Beauty Beyond came about. I'm just like, let me just continue to be a dope director and artist, but showcase Black work. Because I came here and I made it here because when I was 17, I wanted to show why Black youth are popping. You got to invest in us. We could be amazing.
You cold.
Thank
you.
you.
You beat up Debo and you cold.
Man, like boom, boom, boom.
You got a resume, and we gonna tap into it too.
Yo, what's up? It's your girl, Pretty Right, and I need you to do one sminy. Yo, what's up? It's your girl, Pretty Riot, and I just need you to do one small favor for me. Head on over to your app store, search iLLANOiZE. Hit the first thing that pops up because we the one and only, and download the iLLANOiZE app.
I want to ask you some more questions about what inspired you to start your own production company. Was it before the strike or during the strike?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, so like I said beforehand, I just been touching the camera, been creating forever. And I was always thinking of ways like, how can I just continue this, but how can I capitalize off this? What people don't realize, like 10 years, this makes 10 years since I've been doing like entertainment, period. So 10 years in the game, now I'm trying to find ways. I like to say I'm trying to get rich off this ish. Like I'm trying to find a way
Stop
to
saying trying.
I'm going
Take
to
that out your vocabulary
You
right now.
You right.
A great man
finna
named
get
Yoda
rich.
say you do or you don't. There's no such thing as try.
See, and you know what? As one step at a time, trying to like reprogram myself. Like, Kayla, you are a businesswoman. So to answer your question, so like, been doing this for the longest. I was in undergrad shooting full time for my school's just media team, period, doing PR, doing all video work. And I'm like, okay, I want to do this as a business owner. So then by 2020, when the pandemic hit and the film industry came at a halt and there was no work going on, but I was still trying to get bookings. I'm like, I need my LLC. I need to get an EIN. I need to start doing invoices and get a website together, business emails, all of this different stuff. So I'm like, okay, it's time, just do it. So I started and it got established in 2020. I didn't officially launch until 2021, and then from there I just been grinding. And then boom, last year the writer strike happened. So last year, I would say this past year officially, it's been 1 year since I've officially been like a freelancer and really grinding and getting work done. And honest to God truth, I've been maintaining like that. It was one thing getting into the film industry fresh out of college and just like not knowing, okay, what is my next step? And I'll always talk to God, like, God, I just want to get paid for my art. I want to get paid and recognized just for the creative that I am. Granted, I'm a different type of creative. Like, I'm a nerd, too. I'm a technician. What people don't realize when you're working on a film sets in that magnitude, you have to be able to break and build a camera down, do cable management, all this type of geeky stuff. Like I built a computer from scratch just so I can edit my videos for BBTL at a higher standard.
I'm
like,
gonna holla at you.
Yeah.
So being that you experienced the pandemic and a writer's block, what did that do for you and your hustle and your grind?
You know, I think it motivated me because I'm like, I had just signed a lease on my first ever apartment in Chicago, living alone, 1 bedroom with me and my kitty cat. And I'm like, bills got to get paid. And I have a degree. I graduated from Grambling State University, cum laude, all that good stuff. But I'm like, a lot of people aren't checking for my level of creativity and my level of expertise. And I'm like, I've been doing this for 10 years straight, or at the time, 9 years. I'm like, I just need to find a way. So I just found a way to just continue to do what I do best, just hustle, to let people know, like, hey, I shoot videos, I do event recaps. If you need social media content, I love working with rappers. Like, I'm a music video director. So that's like, found a way to to do what I do best. That's my passion in real life. Just doing, like, music always been a big influence for me, but just finding different ways to just like put out level of creativities. And I also teach too. Like, I'm big on giving back to the community. Like, I don't like retaining a whole bunch of information and not passing it along. So I found a way to like charge people off of teaching courses and putting them on game, like of how the industry work or how to get in the industry and stuff.
Speaking of courses, you know, you tapped in a little bit about you going to Grambling State. Out of all the HBCUs
Yes.
that is in this country, why did you select Grambling State to be the college you wanted to go to for your career?
Shout out to my grand fam, first off. Like, if it was not for any of my grand fam, like, just helping me and becoming my community along this journey, I don't know where I would be right now if it wasn't for Grambling State University. Everybody's story to Grambling is unique and is drawn out. I'm going to try to make mine quick. But I came across Grambling when I was a senior in high school. I had a high school counselor who was a Gram fam. He was an alum. And this was during the time where we had the Chicago Football Classics. So shout out to the Chicago Football Classics for actually like introducing Black youth in Chicago to HBCUs, because I never really knew that was an option. I almost went to Central Michigan University. And I just remember during that time, Grambling was coming to Chicago for the first time ever in years. And they were doing on-site admissions at certain schools. It was only 4 schools during that time because they had alumni. And they came to Grambling, came to South Shore. I went to South Shore High School. Okay. Came to my school and they did on-site admissions. It was the first ever school to accept me. And I remember them bringing the band and bringing the majorettes and like performing for us at the school. But then also too, the people that were there doing the on-site admissions, even which is crazy, full circle moment, ended up becoming family for me at the end of the day. They were very welcoming and they just had that Southern hospitality and I felt comfortable. So fast forward, long story short, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to the school, I'm going. And I never got the chance to visit. And I had family members, I had high school counselors, teachers like, Grambling, you shouldn't do it. It's too far, it's Louisiana, blah, blah, blah. But I knew if I stayed in Chicago, I was not gonna grow. So I remember convincing my mama like, yo, can you just let me get on this Greyhound? And I took a 22-hour bus ride by myself at 17 years old, a few days after I got awarded at the Museum of Science and Industry for Black Shy Youth. In 2017, hopped on that bus and went down to Grambling and fell in love. I kid you not, the moment I stepped foot off the Greyhound, I was like met with a whole bunch of love from all the students and the staff, administrators. So shout out to President Gallo, shout out to Miss D, shout out to just everybody, like Coach P, just everyone who showed me so much love. The moment I got off that bus, I was by myself and they instantly were like, who are you? Why are you here? Where are your parents? But you know what? We hear your story and we're gonna be your community. So I would kid you not, my second time going back to the school was me moving into my dorm. And it's ironic because directly across the hall from me was all my friends from Chicago, and they eventually made us like roommates in a sense.
They did that on purpose.
On purpose. And it is crazy because I got my 2 homies in here too, like Will and Greg in here. They're both people that I went to college with too. Greg is from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and these are the same artists that we had a collective in undergrad where we were just coming together and just creating dope work. And they were the first music videos that I ever dropped. It was Track Stars. First ever video. And I did that in Grambling, Louisiana, just having fun. And my staff and administrators, they always was like, Kayla, we see something in you. My freshman year, first semester on campus, they were like, hey, we need you on the team full time. We're going to hire you and have you travel with the school with our football season and doing all our event coverage and shooting commercials for us. And this is a freshman at this point.
And how old were you? Did you say 17?
17 to 18. And then 19 years old is when I ended up on Empire. And I will never forget Miss Hurd. Oh my God, shout out to you, Miss Hurd, if you're watching this. Miss Hurd was the woman who I went to first, and I was like, Miss Hurd, I just got this opportunity where I have to take a semester off of school, but I'm going to be working for Fox. I'm going to be working on Empire. Like, should I finish school and come back to it, or what do I do? And Miss Hurd was just like, Kayla, Grambling will always be here. Like, you're going to have your community and then some if you do this. And I did it. And I kid you not, Grambling was the first publication to do a news article on me about it. And then next thing you know, the local radio stations and news stations heard about it. And then they did stories on me. And the next thing you know, I'm going viral on the internet because of my HBCU support and pushing me where I am. So shout out to my Gram fam.
Shout out. Let's talk about this because you from the east side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we from the city. Mm-hmm. The stereotypes that we hear about the city, the youth coming up, and for you to go through what you went through and taking advantage of every opportunity that came across you, and then end up in Grambling, to end up on Fox, working with Fox. Like, what is going through your mind at this time? Like,
man, I would say the main thing is that anything is possible. Anything is possible. Whatever you put your mind to, stick to it. Granted, it was never an easy route. I've had numerous of adults my whole childhood, because I'm a CPS baby too. Born and raised East Sider. I went to Powell Academy Elementary School in the hood, baby. Okay, 74th and Coast, 074. It's crazy over there. I've seen some things, and I've witnessed other peers go through things, and I've witnessed peers not get the blessings that I have today. But I've always just stayed focused, kept that perseverance, that's the word, and just keep grinding. And I kid you not, I remember having adults try to block my blessings, and my parents are always my biggest motivations. Shout out to my mom and stepdad for just seeing something in me and just like continuing to just wipe my tears away when I come home every day after school and just gone through some things, and they just like, Kayla, just see it through. And they will always teach me like, your education is the biggest thing. Can't nobody take away your education. What's in your brain, the knowledge that you have, can't nobody take that from you. So I just can continue to like fuel myself up and just motivate myself, and just having that community of just them two. I kid you not, my two parents were like the main ones where they taught me to be a creative, but they taught me how to be a strong Black woman and just keep going. And I just kept going, gang. I kid you, like I manifested everything that I have today. I prayed for it, manifested for it, but I kid you not, if you are destined for what it is, like it's gonna happen. Like my mom will always tell me, like, your destiny is written in the stone. Like your name is written in the stars. What's meant for you will happen. So whoever try to come and block your blessings is just not gonna work out, because God got your stuff written out. You good, gang. Just keep it going. So I kid you not, I wake up every single day from when I was 5 years old till now. I just wake up and I just grind. I do whatever I feel like is best for me, and I fuel myself, and I know when to stay level-headed. I know when to reach out to my community when I need help and guidance and mentorship, and just keep going.
Yo, what's up? It's your girl Pretty Right, and I'm sitting pretty, starting riots right here on Illinois.
I'm gonna let you finish, but did you tell them to listen to iLLANOiZE Radio?
Every Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Well, I was getting to that, but y'all made a point, so I hope y'all tune in.
Do that.
Wow.
I'm learning so much about you just from this conversation we've been having. And I know earlier you spoke on True Star.
Yes.
For a lot of people like myself who don't know what True Star is, could you tell us what that is?
Yeah, I could kind of try to do like a quick spiel. It's been years since I've done this, but okay. So True Star Foundation is a nonprofit organization that's dedicated to just investing in youth across the city of Chicago, or just across the Cityland area, period. But the whole focus is, it originally started off as a newspaper, then transitioned into a magazine that was taking over the streets in Chicago. Then next thing you know, they're now digital. But it's basically an online platform and a blog where it allows students to just get paid opportunities to learn broadcast journalism, writing, graphic designs, now filmmaking. I'm now the newest film instructor for the newest film program called Flip the Script with True Star. And so just, it's a dope resource, a really, really dope resource for youth in Chicago to just learn all areas of media. And then they're very plugged with different media resources, celebrities, entertainment, and all of that. So it's like a dope way. Like I like to say, it's a stepping stool to get to where you want to be. If you take advantage of your resources, you can be somewhere through these programs.
And they're heavy in the youth, too.
They heavy.
How is that now that you're a professor, an instructor for a program that you went through? Like,
yeah, it's full circle, definitely. It's a full circle opportunity. I would say the biggest thing is just like, how can I bring that same safe space to the next generation that I had growing up? So like I worked under mentors like Beyonce Fox with V103.
Shout out to Beyonce Fox, man.
Beyonce Fox. We had Trader Chocolate Jock. He's out in Texas, I think, doing his thing, but he was killing it with Power 92 back in the day.
Yeah.
Shy Blizz, another legend. Tifa, another legend.
Shout out to Tifa.
Different folks who created a safe space for youth to just come together, learn, get paid to learn, but actually like get life lessons in between. Because one thing, my biggest takeaway that I'm learning, especially just running like an after school program or program period, is like sometimes this is a safe space, but you don't know, you might have to be a therapist in between. Because I remember like I was going through things during that time that I couldn't speak about or go to an adult and talk about. And we don't talk about mental healthness and therapy and push youth, especially Black youth, to go get those resources. So coming into those programs, I believe it or not, they may not have realized, but it was therapy for me to just, I would, kid you not go home on purpose just so I can go to these after school programs and just be around like-minded individuals and just have fun. So I'm like, okay, as an instructor, how can I maintain that? And how can I get that to the next generation so they could feel comfortable, and I give them that paid voice so they could be great.
Now look at you.
Yeah.
One of 5 Black women film cinematographers. Like, just knowing that. And then also I heard you say you're part of a 1%.
Yes.
First and foremost, what is this 1%
Yes.
that we're talking about so people can understand?
Okay, so anytime you're watching your favorite TV shows or movies, you see the credits in the movies, right? That long list of credits, I talked about it earlier. That long list of credits, these are different members, a part of a group called iLLANOiZE, or different like the WGA, which is the Writers Guild. You have SAG-AFTRA, which is also like the Actors Guild. But IATSE is basically the group of theatrical stage employees, like motion picture employees that make your favorite movie. So whether they do props, whether they do props, costumes, whether they do VFX, whatever. I'm a part of IATSE Local 600, and that's the International Cinematographers Guild. And the International Cinematographers Guild are the ones responsible of putting together the visuals for your favorite TV shows and movies. So you have director of photography, you have a first camera assistant, so first AC, second AC, camera ops, all these different titles and all of that. But you basically need to be a part of this union and be a part of this group in order to touch the equipment and have the accreditation to work on your favorite productions. So a part of that with Local 600, there is approximately like 10,000 plus members. So out of the 10,000 plus members, you have about, I want to say 200 plus black people, which is cool. That sounds decent. Out of 10,000, I'll take that. But out of that, we have about 100 black women. I don't even think we're at 100 yet. But I say that to say we're a part of like the 1%ers. We're not even like a full 1% to exist. And like
y'all
I'm the
0.8.
0.9, being real. So like, and I'm the youngest of them all. So, and it's funny because it's been times where I've been on set and people call me like, oh, you're a unicorn. Like, you're one of a kind. Like, oh my gosh, you're a HBCU graduate, you're a Delta, and you do this. You're from the east side of Chicago, and you do this and that. Like, oh my gosh, like, you're different. But it's I say that to say, I hate being the 1%. I hate being the only black person in the room. If you're black and around another black person and they're the only black person in the room and they're proud of that, run, gang. I promise you, they do not have the best intentions for you. Find your community, and then don't be a gatekeeper. I notice that's a big thing we do in our community. Give back. Find ways to just provide opportunities for other people to get into, because I'm finding that.
What's the motivation you get when you see people like Regina King and Tasha, that's her name, Tasha, that does work on BMF?
I think
Tasha Smith.
Tasha Smith. Like, when you see those ladies doing their thing, and like, what's that motivation like for you to see them doing their thing, and knowing that it's women in power positions that can change that 1%?
I mean, you know, and this is the funny thing about the film industry, that just like with any business, you may be in a certain power, but there's definitely a hierarchy that comes with this game, and it's all politics. So yes, they may be in that position and they're doing amazing things, but they don't have the power to make that difference of the 1%ers, if I'm being 100. There's a lot of different ways and different reasons why certain folks aren't in places of positions or power roles or whatever the case may be. Everything happens for a reason. That 1% is changing behind the scenes, but it's a struggle. It's definitely a struggle.
Soon we'll see a full woman crew of people.
I would love to see. I've never, when I work on, because there's a difference. You have the union world, which is like the HBOs, the Disneys, and all of that, and then you have non-union. So whenever I'm working on non-union tier, like low tier productions and all of that, that's the time where I get to see the minority groups. I get to work with different ethnic groups or just minority groups overall, and we could come together and make dope work. Versus I'm on the union set, I have to put on a face and a front to just like even exist in these spaces so I can be me. But yeah, man, it's a lot to it.
So let me ask you this, because you said that you don't really like being part of the 1%.
Yeah.
So in your opinion, how do we bring 1 to 2% to eventually so on?
So I think we're doing it now. So I'm a part of a group called 600 Black Women. Our founder, her name is Chris. She basically saw that this was an issue, that we didn't have many women represented in our business, and she's just like, I can't be the only one. And thankfully, this was around the time that I was a intern on Empire. So she started the 600 Black Women group, where she reached out to other Black female cinematographers across the country, and I want to say it was 26 of them at the start. And then they've worked hard to just like network, going based off of the word of mouth. Like, we have a database where you can search up our names and stuff, but most of the time you don't see all of us. So we had to go based off of word of mouth to find a way to like bring us together. And back in, I want to say 2021, she started the group. Oh my gosh, 2022, I believe. It was the camera cookout. But the whole point of camera cookout is for all of us to come together and fly to different cities, and we just learn cinematography and different aspects of it. So we'll sit and learn from different director photographies, or we'll do camera testing sessions or camera building sessions, or we'll work with Panavision, or just different organizations within the film industry. Like, the first year we were in New York, and we learned how to load film. We had to learn how to just so many different things. Then last year we were in LA. We got to visit Red Studios, Red Camera. We got to visit Kodak. We got to see how they develop film from scratch and all that good stuff. But essentially, we're creating our own group where we're coming together to have resources to network with one another, but also too, we have a class of mentees under us where we have a chat where we provide work opportunities and make sure like, hey, do you need training, or how can we come together to help each other out? And then too, it's like we're starting our own chapters in different cities because we're across the country. So here in Chicago, there's 5 of us. All 5 of us are kicking ass in different ways. So shout out to the 5 that we're here and making some type of change. So each and every one of us are creating different opportunities, working on film sets, different opportunities, doing our own production companies, because I'm not the only one with the production company providing work opportunities. I just know with me personally, I find a way to make a difference through teaching and doing my workshops. Outside of teaching my workshops and after school programs, I try to find ways to figure out who's serious, who's a star, who sticks out the most. And I try to get them job opportunities on the side. And thankfully, I've had a couple students like end up on union sets just as a production assistant, or like I'm just trying to find that back door to put my people on. Like, it may not happen overnight, but I'm planting seeds in different areas.
Like you said, no gatekeeping.
Yeah, no gatekeeping. Like, I just want to give back in some way or fashion, because I wouldn't feel good if I were to leave this earth tomorrow not knowing I did my purpose. And my purpose is to give back and to help others. Because if it wasn't for that community, I would not be sitting here with y'all today.
Man, you're dope. True. You beat up Debo and you cold.
Look,
you brought up the aspect of networking, and it's very powerful, but I know a lot of listeners probably like wondering where to start. I have worked on projects with Kayla. We've been traveled together for work, and every time we go somewhere, she knows somebody. We on the airplane, we in LA, like, we in Atlanta, we here in Chicago.
I work with people, they were like, I know Kayla. I'm like, how you know
her? They will literally stop us and like have a full conversation.
Like,
Kayla. So can you talk about how to maintain those relationships when you just continuing to do work in your field here in Chicago, but how do you maintain all those relationships all over?
Well, I was walking through the process of how I get them started. Like, just many people don't know how to even continue a conversation. So the first thing I do, anytime I talk to people, I don't care if you're a janitor, if you're an executive producer, whatever the case may be, I'm going to treat you with the right respect, the same amount of respect. I'm going to ask you your first and last name. I'm going to tell you my first and last name. I'm going to look you in your eyes and give you the same level of respect I would give any decent human being. And I will shake your hand. I will always shake your hand. If you see me in any space, I will shake your hand. And if I think the conversation is going great, I'll get your social media handles and take it from there. But after that, it's just being a good person. I kid you not. If you're being a good person, you give back, you have good conversations. If you can hold a good conversation, and if somebody tells you like they lost a family member last year and that affected them in some way or fashion, then let's say you see them again without triggering them, just be like, how are you doing? How's your family going? Like, are you maintaining? What are you doing for you today? How are you blessed up? What are you doing to maintain your happiness and just grow? And that alone, I kid you not, like, people remember those things. And it's not just to be a rude person. I'm not doing it for personal gain. I'm just a genuinely good person. I want to see everybody happy, no matter what color you are, no matter how tall or short you are. I just want you to feel good when you're around me. And then just maintain that. Just walk away with good thoughts, happy thoughts. And if I'm not feeling myself, because I'm human, don't get me wrong. If I'm just having a bad day, you made me angry, whatever, I'm going to respectfully tell you, like, hey, this is not the time. Like, it is what it is. But just be a good person. And I promise you the rest will follow.
Be yourself.
Be yourself.
I know you talk about, too, like the mentor aspect. I want you to also expound on that. Like, how does people in your community, can they reach out to you via, like, social media? I know I seen in action, like, a girl would come up to you, like, we in the bathroom, they're like, I've been watching you since I was 15. Like, how does that make you feel for you to still be young and, like, very close in age with them as well? But how can people, like, network with you, or if they're looking for a mentor outside of, like, going to True Star?
Man, I would say just follow me on social media. I'm still young and figuring things out myself. I know there's so many people that just, like, want to learn from me, and I take forever to respond to my DMs. I'm so sorry. But just reach me out on social media, DM me. I have an email account where you can email me, booking@beautybeyondtl.com. You can email me, sellerskayla@beautybeyondtl.com. But just maintaining just like the consistency with social media. I think that's honest to God truth how I made it here today. If it wasn't for, like, I think she remembered me, the one girl you're talking about, that was through Snapchat. Like, I've always been like a form of an influencer. That's one thing, like, I never changed it by myself getting into the film industry. It's like, you got to be hush hush and be professional and put on your suit and ties and remain this way. It's like, no, I've been me, unapologetically me from the beginning. So just continue to ride the wave, see where I go, support, and then I'm gonna give the same support back. Like if you send me a flyer to an event and I know I'm available, I'm gonna try my best to, if not repost it, I'll spread the message along to somebody else, or I'll show up. Like just different things like that. Just trying to maintain connections. And then to how does it make me feel? It's like an overwhelming feeling sometimes because I'm just like, man, people look up to me and I can't mess up. But I have to remember, like, I am human. I'm still figuring things out. But if it wasn't for me going through this journey, because I did not have anybody to look up to. Like, if I were to see a black female cinematographer at 6 years old, I probably would have knew that's what I wanted to do from the jump. But if I didn't see that, I didn't believe it. So now I'm just trying to, like, figure out how to be that leader of the next generation in some way or fashion. Like, I will never forget when I saw Good Morning America do a piece on Local 600, 600 Black women. They had my pictures up there, although I didn't have any talking pieces or whatever, but just to see my face a part of this group of the 1%ers and we're making a difference. I remember crying, like, I'm doing something. Like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Let me just keep going. Because you never know. Like, you just never know who you might touch.
That's true. And, I mean, as we get close to wrapping things up, it's Women's History Month, okay? You're a leader.
Yeah.
All right. Whether you know it or not, you are a leader.
Thank you.
But before you became a leader, who are those women in power or just personal? It could be a lady that's personal to you. Like, who are some woman figures that's motivated you to become this leader you are now?
I would say every woman that was just a boss lady. Every boss lady in my life that just, like, showed me the way to go. I would definitely start with my mom. Shout out to my mom. Shout out to my aunties. Shout out to all the godmothers that I've had in my life. My cousin Tiffany, shout out to you. I love you very much. Shout out to just even the owners of True Star, Natay and Deanna Thompson, just seeing them, like, just kill it in these spaces and just showing that you could be a powerful Black woman. Or even the ones that I've never got to personally meet, like Issa Rae. Oh my God, I want to work with you so bad. Give me the opportunity. I just want to be in the space of you and just learn from you. Just seeing Black women or just women, period, just kill it and just show me that, okay, I could learn a thing or two from you and apply it to myself and just be a better woman every day. Because every day I'm on a journey of just discovering myself. As these locks are growing, I'm just like, I'm growing.
As the locks is growing.
Man, I love it here. I'm so happy.
And you know, we never chopped it up about this, but you spoke a little bit on working on Candyman. Talked about working on The Shy. Talked about working on Power. I mean, a lot of those are predominantly produced here in Chicago as well. So what's some things you've learned working on these sets?
That's a really good question because each set is different. Like, you named 3 to 4 different categories.
Exactly.
So, like, working on Candyman, that's a horror story. Then working on The Shy, like, I never watched The Shy. Don't beat me up for it. I never watched The Shy.
Me neither. Me neither.
Okay.
Briefly, I'll say this. I got a chance to chop it up with Cortez Smith, who plays on The Shy.
Yeah, they're all cool people.
And after I chopped it up with him and interviewed him, I got hooked to The Shy. It's a great series. I would say y'all need to
go watch
check it out.
I believe it because I worked a few days on the show, and, like, when you're filming, you're aware of what's happening. I'm like, man, this storyline juicy. So, but I would say behind the scenes, overall, although each production is different, it's about the people. So what you named were predominantly Black productions. Candyman I was on the reshoot day, so I didn't get the chance to, like, really get to know the crew. But I say that to say I learned from a lot of the cast and crew on set, whether it's just, like, learning the actors and how they maneuver in the business and how they carry themselves, but also, too, how to be a good crew member and how to take care of your crew and just, like, be a good worker. Because people don't understand there's a lot that come with the film industry. You got to do 13-hour day minimums. You got to do the long hours on set, but then it's the grunt work of it all. But then you have to learn to be a good community member and a good team player. Because I remember we were filming Candyman in the pandemic when this was like, I did the reshoot days. It was supposed to be a 7-day shoot for 1 week. Then it got cramped to 3 days because of the pandemic. And then the last day we did like 20 hours on set. And I'm with a whole bunch of strangers. I don't really know these people. And this is fresh after Empire. But I'm like, okay, if I learn the basics and just how to communicate, how to be a good worker, help these people, take that workload off of them, we can make this happen. And we made it happen. Like, Candyman is an award-winning film. So,
and you part of that.
Yeah, right?
from being a kid who was at the movie theater looking at the credits, asking your parents, what is that? To now seeing your name in credits. Like, what is that fulfillment like for you?
I mean, I get goosebumps every time, but I know, and it's crazy because I literally accomplished everything I put my mind to. Everything that I've, like, hoped and dreamt and prayed for, I've had it happen. So now I'm just like, what's next? That's what I keep asking myself. What's next? I know there's something else coming. Like I feel in my soul there's something brewing. Like what's the word? How you say it? It's brewing.
Yeah.
Brewing.
You got it. You got it. It's brewing.
Do you ever look at them and be like, look at the categories and be like, I really want to make sure my name is in this category?
Oh, I want an Emmy. I want an Oscar. I want a Grammy. I want all of these different things. But
You
I
want
want
a Grammy?
I want a Grammy for like best music video or documentary,
And they got
music
soundtrack
documentary,
and all that stuff,
soundtracking,
you know?
because music and film play hand in hand. Like
yeah.
that's a different interview for a different day. But I love music so much. If it wasn't for different forms of music, just like Childish Gambino, Donald Glover's Because the Internet. Did the Clapping for the Wrong Reasons documentary. It wasn't a documentary, it was a short film. He put it out a year before Because the Internet came out. And Because the Internet, he did a whole movie script and screenplay, a part of the actual album. And I was like in 8th grade at Powell Academy. And I remember my teacher, Miss Atkins, she was a big part into who I am as today. She allowed me to do a book report on the actual movie script. And I remember that was the first script I ever read. And then from there, as time went on, I started to notice, like, even with Kanye West's My Beautiful Black Twisted Fantasy, the short film with that, I'm like, oh my God, if I can find a way to be successful in a career where I can mix film and music, like my passion for music and film into one, like I would love to do that. So just being able to maintain that. So yes, I would like to get a Grammy. I would like to get an Oscar. I want all the accolades.
EGOT.
I want it all. Why not?
You deserve
Why
it.
not?
You deserve
Most
it.
definitely do, man. It's been a pleasure having you come through.
Thank you.
I'm like, with it being Women's History Month, we got to celebrate.
Yes.
And what way it wouldn't be right if we didn't celebrate you. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate you sliding. You got to let people know how they can get in tune with you and your production company. So please give out both those handles. And
Because a lot of
emails.
rappers watch this.
Yeah,
And,
look.
and you shoot videos.
I
done
love shooting
seen-
videos, okay? I love...
Did you shoot Heroes Day?
I did. I
Look,
did do
see?
Heroes Day. Yes, I did do Heroes Day. Just, man, I love creating. So if you rock with me and you took something away from this, please follow me on social media, reach out to me, and just stay connected, stay in tune. You can find my production company at Beauty Beyond TL. That's all the ads. My website is beautybeyondtl.com. My personal Instagram is Kayla Simone with 2 E's. So that's KaylaCymonee. Beauty Beyond, it's Beauty Beyond TL. So if you can't spell that, I don't know what to tell you.
Yo,
But
and she spelled it for you.
like, I don't know what to tell you. But please tap in, ask questions. If I'm hosting a workshop, reshare, attend. You can learn a thing or two and work with me. Please invest in Black women. We are the future. We got a different perspective that we could bring you, okay?
Yeah.